Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Life Reflected. Today's guest is Yanise Ho. She's very small but she is very mighty. She rollerbladed across a 540-mile trek from Georgia all the way down to Florida to raise money for schools across the world. She's just incredible and she has so... My first question when I heard that you were rollerblading 540 miles was, what are the logistics of that? Are you rollerblading on the interstate?
A lot of times I had to rollerblade on the freeway. No interstates because that's illegal.
That's what I was going to say.
But on the freeway, and a lot of times there's no shoulder lane. That means I have to rollerblade on the car lane. There are times I could just rollerblade on the sidewalk. So,
do people get angry at you?
Surprisingly, no. Most people would cheer for me and they're like, "Woo!"
I feel like LA people would just honk at you. How many blades do you take with you? Does one pair of rollerblades last the entire journey?
Yeah, just one pair.
Okay.
And they actually last really long. They could last up to 800 miles.
Why rollerblade? Why not just walk or bike or...
Actually, initially I thought of walking across America because our ultimate goal is really to raise awareness, to build schools for girls all around the world. And I thought it really didn't matter what I do, the message is the key. But I decided to rollerblade because it's actually part of my life. I do grocery shopping, I do everything I get from place to place on my rollerblades. And I thought if this is something I'm good at, might as well do it for other people. Just take my whole day and rollerblade all day. I might only do 30-35 miles a day, but I could talk to so many people, I could make a lot of friends.
Only 35 miles a day.
What?
Are you kidding me? So you were rollerblading from Georgia to Florida, and you only relied on the kindness of people.
Right.
What did you bring with you?
I brought with me only initially a 30-pound backpack with clothes, with a sleeping bag, and a lot of things. On my 9th day, I decided to throw half of the stuff away. I didn't even bring cash or credit card with me. Ended up being hosted every night, so I didn't even need a sleeping bag. I was down to just a couple of pieces of clothes and not even shoes.
Yeah. And when you say you were hosted, you were totally relying on kindness for everything. Yes. Were you scared? As a woman, if I was rollerblading across something, I would become afraid of people at first, and you really have to trust that people are good people. Were you ever scared? Have a scary situation?
I felt that it would only work if you trust 100%. If you open your door to people, they would open your door to you too.
Going into it, you probably had expectations. What happened that you didn't expect?
I really didn't think much before I took off, and I just brought with me faith and my backpack and my rollerblades, and I took off. I didn't really think much what's going to happen, if I was going to get hosted. I just wanted to think on my feet. Whatever happens, happens.
Do you think that the world is moving towards being more kind or less kind? Like the world as a whole?
I don't think that people are becoming less kind compared to any times in history. People are more protective of themselves. Their first instinct might lean toward protecting themselves over helping others first. I don't think people inside them, they're bad. And they want to be kind. They're just scared to be kind.
So say, there's a person on the street who is closed off because they are scared. And that's, I think, where a lot of everyone's insecurities come from. It's just, you're scared. You're scared to fail. You're scared to be harmed. You're scared that you're not going to get what you want. Is there for you, as a kind, giving person and having received so much kindness, is there a checklist on how you can bring yourself out of being scared and how to trust other people more?
If you're sincere, people can actually feel it. And a lot of people tell me you should be careful, you shouldn't trust people. But I feel that I can always feel them if they're sincere.
Stuff. What's your next big adventure?
My next one would be rollerblading across Europe, starting from France, looking through the entire Europe back to France.
Oh, wow.
And that would be about 6,500 miles.
6,000? How long do you think this is going to take?
It'll take me about 8 months.
Wow. 6,500 miles is quite a big distance. That's got to be some kind of record.
Yeah, so I'm trying to set a world record. The last record was set by a man 30 years ago and did 5,300 miles.
Oh, you're gonna blow them out of the water. So on your journey, you're talking about fear a lot and how that stops people from being kind to you. Is there a point or a person or a situation where you kind of had a conflict but then turned into something good?
Amelia Island in Florida. And it was getting dark and I had nowhere to go. So knock on the door and an 80-year-old woman came out. And I told her about my story and she started yelling at me. She started calling me idiot. She started telling me about how dangerous the area was. And she wouldn't let me go. And for 2 hours, she was just yelling at me. And I said, it's okay, I could go. So mad. She was furious. She said, sit down. And I didn't want her to have a heart attack, so I sat down. And she called her whole family and all. And I just wanted to leave, but she wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
And in the end, she said, she thought about so many possibilities, like, why don't we get her to the hotel? Or why don't we let her sleep in the church? But she wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, she's scared.
She's scared. But later on, after a while of chatting, and she let me in, we had dinner, and the next morning she treated me like her granddaughter, and she made me breakfast, she shared stories with me, she told me her husband died, and all the stories of her life, and she just treated me so nicely. And she told me, the last thing she told me was, maybe next time when I see a traveler with a backpack on, I might have a new perspective. And she was 80 years old, and she told me never in her life that she had a guest in her house, so I was the first. And that was the moment when I knew I did something to change someone's perspective, and I knew I did it right.
Right. But that's a beautiful story. Did you get that? So what inspired you to do this, besides breaking a world record, to donate and make schools for women?
First of all, because I have lived in a lot of places, and I've always been by myself, but I never felt lonely because of all these amazing people that have known me, that have loved me, to show people that there's so much kindness in the world. Just trust and believe in people once in a while. For the European tour, I wanted to dedicate the cost to women, to girls, because I really feel that education would help these women to find themselves, so they know that they are not alone. There are people out there to want to support them, to become someone important, and to be able to make an impact on other people as well.
Do you think you could teach me how to rollerblade?
Absolutely. Do it.
Okay. I need a helmet! How do I stop? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna stop.
Oh, yeah, there's no brakes.
There's no brakes! There's no brakes. I feel like it's Tanya Harding or Nancy Kerrigan. For Life Reflected. If you want to know more about this incredible human, go to thebladress.com to follow her adventures, or you can find her Instagram at thebladress. That's it, right? All right.
Facebook as well.
And on Facebook. Awesome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.